Nervous system part 2. Now we're looking at the difference between the voluntary and the involuntary responses and the parts of the nervous system that control that. So we can split our peripheral nervous system, this is only the peripheral, into two parts. The autonomic, and that looks after anything which is not under your conscious control, which we call involuntary control. And you see there we're getting a picture of internal organs because that's a lot of what's controlled. And then you have the somatic, that's stuff that you voluntarily control. So the image there is of your muscles because obviously you can choose when to move and flex those muscles. So voluntary control means that your brain is consciously aware of the decisions. You make those decisions in response to a stimulus. So it might be that you feel it's cold, you rub your hands together to warm up. It might be you go, I'm listening to a really exciting video tutorial, I'm going to pick up a pencil and make some great notes. All of this is due to the action of your somatic nervous system. Okay? So your motor nerves send a message to your muscles and your muscles take action. This cat here is going to give you a great example of its voluntary nervous system. So all of these actions, entirely voluntary.
No, 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 no. Quiero, no, no, no. No, no,
The other system, which is under involuntary control, is called your autonomic nervous system. So this is really important though, because these actions need to take place to keep you working, to keep you alive. So things like your heart beating, breathing, digestion, many of your responses when you get too hot or too cold, so things like sweating, they're all under that unconscious control. And you don't want to be sitting here trying to think through, complex problems or play a game of basketball or whatever, whilst also thinking, oh, I need to breathe, oh, I need to breathe a bit faster now. So it's very good for you that this is all happening without your response, without your thought. We can further divide this autonomic nervous system into two antagonistic responses. So antagonistic doesn't mean they don't like each other, it just means they work in the opposite direction. So you have the sympathetic nervous system, which prepares your body to respond to stress, fight or flight response, and then the parasympathetic, which does the reverse, and it brings you back to a resting state. So, hope you notice there the two examples of the involuntary responses. First of all, we had our little baby panda sneezing, and then we had the lovely response of the mum as she sort of body went into stress, and then she went back to, actually, that's okay. Now this is what we mean by the antagonistic ones. So when your parasympathetic nerves will do one thing, the sympathetic would do the other. So if something stresses you out, that will increase your heart rate, it will relax your airways so you can get more air into your lungs, it will inhibit parts of your digestive system because you don't really need them right at the moment. Once that pressure has passed, then the reverse happens. Your heart rate comes back down, we constrict the airways because we don't really need that much air in, but we do need to start uploading that or upgrading that digestion again.